Hi friends, today we're going into my most recent Natasha Denona haul. A mini haul from her 25% off surprise sale for members. All that means is if you have an account on natashadenona.com, you have to sign in order to be eligible for the 25% discount. And I had a few items on my wish list and happy that I waited, did not buy these products full price because that would have been a bummer. Those products being yes, I got the concealers. These released, I believe, sometime last year and I held back because I had my beloved Lancome concealers. This was from April of last year. And I also purchased mini Metropolis and the mini Triochrome palette, which I'm excited to dive into. But the My Mini Dream Glow Blush, isn't this so hello, focus. I love this. The gradient, the colors, the size, and the My Dream design with the black splashes against the soft pink beige background. I totally love that concept. I'm excited to get into these products. I do have other products to compare the concealers in terms of the undertones and the shade. I'll do the swatches for the eyeshadows, but this won't be as thorough as individual reviews go because I just wanted to dive into the products with you here. Of course, if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. I review beauty, talk about lifestyle stuff. I'm trying to get more into fitness. We might make a slight content shift because I need to expand. I would like to create more content without necessarily having to buy things all the time. So that's the idea. Let me know what you think down below. Oh, and my You Go Natural order finally arrived today. I ordered these head wraps on December 21st. It is February 7th. Emailed them twice. They were nice to reply and say, our apologies, we are backed up. They even offered me 15% off my next order. I kindly asked that if they could apply it to the order that has not arrived yet because I'm not sure if I want to order from them again. If it's going to take this long each and every time, which I know obviously it's not, but even one of you were like, they take a long time. Like, is this a long time? What happened to me and is standard a month? Because it took a month and a half almost for me. So I don't know. With all that said, however, it's time for you to come in a little closer. That's enough. I thought we should prep the skin first. I go in with my Sarah Deru and Gothamista collab essence. Yes, I don't use skincare on the regular, as in I don't have a skincare routine or products that I use morning and evening. I do, however, use skincare to prep before makeup. That is a distinct difference because I now see skincare as makeup and removing those products at the end of the day. I know many of you don't approve of my Vaseline, but it's what's been working, so I kind of stick with it. Peach and Lily's Match Pudding Matcha Antioxidant Cream on top of the essence. I purchased 2 concealers from Natasha, and I'm an affiliate, by the way. Hey, if you wish to get 15% off, I know not as good as the 25, but just putting it out there. Alicia 15 off of Natasha's site if you wanted to pick something else up. But I think as we approach the spring season, there will be many a sale, many a promotion that will arrive, that will happen. So that will probably give you more than 15%, but you never know. All right, let's go into this concealer as I purchased one shade for all over and under eyes. On the product page, they have a matchmaking quiz that you can take where it has several brands and shades, and I entered the shade for my Dior Forever Correct in LM Neutral, or excuse me, 4N, and what was generated from Natasha was NP10, and I believe NP10 stands for Neutral Peach. Hold on. The High Glam Concealer lineup has a bunch of different undertones as well as correctors. Tan Rosy, Neutral Tan, Medium Tan Yellow, my goodness. NP10 is Medium Tan Neutral Peach. If that don't match, I don't know what will. I decided to purchase this shade for all over my face. I love the component. You have a rubberized cap with the, what color is this? Like a rose gold chrome. I love the curve here at the bottom. Natasha Denona in the front. We have a nice shaped doe foot applicator. There's a little bit of a smell. It's not too bad. I'd rather go fragrance free, but what are you gonna do? It feels tremendously creamy and smooth upon contact. And that's from one application, one swig. Let's see, what brush do we have to use? I am so unprepared. Let's use Sonia's Lotus Base and check out how NP10 matches. Oh, that's nice. That's a great match. Okay. All right, in terms of the texture, it blends quickly, and this is not new. This concealer has been reviewed several times. I'm late to the game. I get it. This is just, you know, if we were shopping together and I was showing you what I bought and how it looks, this is what's happening right now. I love how it looks, how it feels. It blends quickly. It looks like skin. What finish is it supposed to be? It says full performance formula, advanced skincare properties, game-changing high glam concealer inspired by the Hygen Primer Serum. Corrector consists high-tech active ingredients that work instantly over time to brighten dark circles, reduce puffiness, and blur the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles after 28 days daily use. That sounds great, but I'm really just here for the finish. Hydrating, crease-proof serum concealer. It feels like a skincare product, 100%, but the color is outstanding. And I'm more impressed with the shade match than with anything else. It's not too warm. That looks good. Let's do the other side. I'll apply the same amount, and more so here on the forehead and on the nose. A lot of product just from one swig of the doe foot, as you see, and a little goes a long way. All this product blends quite well, covers what I need, and I don't mind using concealer all over my face. I know perhaps not meant to be used in that manner, but that's something sometimes I do, because if I don't feel I want to go full on foundation, I'll just go in with concealer. I like how it's a natural finish, but it's not too satiny. I like the dry down. The color matches well, I think, with my neck. What do you think? And there's a little bit, not a sheen, but it's not matte. Yeah, I would think definitely more of a natural finish to the skin. I quite like it. I smell it, but it's not overpowering. It's not perfumey. And this will lead us now into what shade is this? R5. R5 was the recommended shade match to Lancome's 350 Bisque, which I thought was interesting because 350 Bisque is a little more peachy than what the Rosy is giving. And I assume R stands for Rosy just based on what we've read so far. I have R5, which is, let's see here. Hello. I'm going nuts. I can't find R5 on the site. Does it not exist anymore? Well, whatever the case is here in front of me. Ooh, that's light. Ooh, that's light. I don't know, man. I do detect a little bit of, I say peachy, but obviously there is another peachy shade that exists in this lineup because I see the RPs and the NPs. Maybe this is considered rosy, even though I see peachy. Let's blend this out. I'm gonna tap and swipe a little bit of both. I do recognize that concealer might not be ideal for all over the face because it's concentrated, but a nice alternative to have. I would still apply my Suku foundation for all over. I do prefer the finish of the Suku foundation over concealer for sure. This concealer all over my face. The Suku foundation is still, as much as skin-like as this is, the Suku foundation is impeccable in terms of the finish and the blend. And the R5, not a complete disaster. I mean, you see major brightening happening. Let me pounce on with a bigger brush, perhaps to take away a little bit of product, because my goodness, I'm bright. 100%. Okay, well, that is R5 under the eyes. And what did I buy for all over the face again? NP10 for the rest of the face. Why don't we go into these comparison swatches? I'll first swatch NP10 so you could take a look at how that shade appears. And I'll follow up with Dior's 4N. 4N, I think, is going to be a little more warm. For sure. Look, this looks orange compared to the Dior. And now R5 that we applied under the eyes, I like the color. Super brightening. Lancome's 350 that I usually put under the eyes. That is similar. There's a little more warmth here. I mean, maybe that's considered more peachy, but look how light that appears next to R5. I was like, maybe R5 is a little too light. Identified that with the suggestion. It's fine, because I just know I'll mix and match anyway, or just not use as much, right? R5 is not going to be like a swipe. It's going to be more of like a dot situation. And I also have Lancome's 360. This is the medium neutral shade, and compared to R5, definitely more neutral in undertone, right? So my range of concealer shades here, crazy how warm 4N looks against NP10. I mean, it does give me a little bit of a tan, 100%. In terms of the finish for the concealer under the eyes, it's already starting to crease a little bit. I think because it's meant to have these skincare properties and to be a little more zhuzhy, if you will. I do think the Lancome might have, this is just an assumption based on what I see now, might have better staying power, simply because I think it's meant to be a little more resilient in regards to wear. Anytime you want something to be zhuzhy and serum-y and skincare-like, I think that's a trade-off that you lose longevity in that respect. You can mitigate that by powdering 100%. And what I would like to do, however, will purposely leave this unpowdered for the remainder of this haul and get ready with me, just so we see what it's doing. I will, however, powder the brows, because where did I put my powder? Just so the pencil has a little more stick to it, that it doesn't get too slidey-idy. Brows are on. I'm excited to get into the My Mini Dream Glow Blush, because I'm ecstatic about this shade. You know how I love my roses, and the fact that you can swipe it all together, but that itself is gorgeous. That was the rosier side. This is the more pinky. Ooh, that's pretty. Very soft. And the highlight side, what? Excuse me, that shiny. That shiny. The question is, what brush should I use? We have several. We got several. I'm looking at this because it's small enough where I can kind of get here exclusively if I wanted, and a little bit of the middle shade. I'll start it higher and whip it around so we could get some of that glow more on the cheekbones. Ooh, that's pretty. I knew it would be. I mean, this color, virtually effortless the minute I saw it. When it comes to roses and that type of a shade, you can't go wrong in terms of it delivering an easy everyday flush. And in terms of how it blends, especially on the concealer, I mean, it's smooth. It is smooth-ooth. And I'll take some of the highlight, same brush, and whip it here on the cheekbones. Whew. It is on the powdery side. The highlight is on the powdery side. Just make sure you don't pick up a ton, so you have a little bit of control. But that looks absolutely gorgeous. And you could actually take them all and buff it more on the center of your face, because the powder texture is finely milled, where you can manipulate the finish and it doesn't look overly metallic-y or textured on the skin. But that's lovely. Okay, we gotta put on a little bit of a lip. I think this is my beloved Suku Moisture Glaze in 02 Fresh Pink. I could put on the cinnamon one, or I could put on number 6, but I think this was okay for now. I have them on standby if I need to change my mind. Now going into the minis. Metropolis mini. Metropolis, I think, is Natasha's best palette in terms of the color story, the concept, everything about it. It took me a while to get my hand on this because I have Metropolis and some of these shades are repeats. Blaze, which is here, Rope here, Jubilee new, Bull new, and Corrode, I think. I don't think Corrode is in Metropolis, but you can let me know down below. Let's take a look at Jubilee. Okay, that's lovely. I am predicting an all over lid moment. Love that color. You can never go wrong with that neutral bark brown. And of course, a beige that we could probably use on the edge of the crease to blend out bowl with. And the mini Triochrome, if the Triochrome palette had an extra row, it will be this blue color concept. I believe these are all new shades if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, I didn't read up on a lot of the background for these products, but my goodness, I understand how intimidating it could be when it comes to blues. You kind of have to be ready for it. You're gonna have to be ready for it. But I suspect that this would be a lovely pairing to Xenon, because some of those shades in Xenon read navy, and to have these blues pair with the navy or the navy mood Xenon can also carry, I think a great opportunity to mix and match with. But today we'll exclusively try Triochrome all by itself. I just want to get into this because I think it's interesting to see what you could do. Since I already know what Blaze and Rope can do, I'm primarily just diving in to the newer shades, and we're picking up, of course, this darker brown. I have the concealer on my lids. Don't know if that's a good idea for priming the lids, considering that it's skincare-y, but it's fine. I'm just being a little lazy. My apologies. Let's go in with, ooh, we have Smoke Right Away. Throwing that on the crease, already creating quite the smoke here. And now dipping into that beige shade to soften the edges, taking the edge of my Sonia Kiyaki brush with Bull on the lower lash line to connect. That by itself is lovely. Listen, I could apply the beige shade here on my lid, throw on some mascara and be done. 100%. I understand there's not like a standout highlight shade, but realistically, however, if I were to bring this palette along for the ride, I would already have a highlight separate, and I'll just apply that shade on the inner corner. I don't necessarily need to have it present in my eyeshadow palette each and every time, especially if it's as edited as the mini is. Naturally, you could go in with Jubilee or Blaze on the lid if you wanted to keep it more neutral warm in that respect. If you wanted to incorporate Jubilee, I think it will be, you know what I'm going to do? I would like to do the original plan, which was let's apply the beigey shade on the lid, right? Just to create that neutral canvas. And now let's take Natasha's Microblade Liquid Liner. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. Whew. If I don't do liners like this often, it feels like the first time each and every time. Now we'll take Jubilee. And when the liner is still has not completely set, that's where we're gonna stamp on Jubilee, okay? Right on top. So we can have our teal metallic liner on top of our matte neutral shades. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I know this is a little more skill heavy if you wanted to use Jubilee but not have it as a prominent lid color that you will have to apply as a liner, but I think this is the best way to get it more smooth, because if you were to do this just with the powder, I think you'll have a tougher time getting that those lines. But if you went in with the liner first, or if you wanted something more softer, you could use Natasha's pencil, draft it out, and it's not going to appear as sharp as this, but you can still stamp on Jubilee on top of the pencil liner that you blended out and still have a liner moment, more diffused, but still have that color present with the look. Now with the Triochrome palette, I'm trying to approach this, I know, daily friendly, but soft. I know it's with the blues. I think what you probably have to do, hey rhymes, is apply this duochrome first all over the lid. And I'll take my Traditions 5 because this is goated for not only lid application, but blending through the crease. And I want to take this shadow, lid and crease, start whipping it through, and first create more of like that soft look. You know what I mean? I think this is so pretty just to have this color alone on the eyes. You know what I mean? And have either your lashes or super black mascara going in with the smudger, because I want the application to be a little more concentrated. I do like that haze though. I like the haze that we got from T5, 100%. And now finishing the edges here and just lightly whisking them out. Isn't that pretty? That's what you can do. I think this is great for daily. I know it's blue, but in terms of the shine and the color, ooh, that's pretty. If you want it to appear more concentrated, I would take my finger and go on the lid for a heavier dose of color there, right? Or you could go in with the builder or even the smudger like this to apply a little more shadow. Now here's what we can do. You could go in with this blue, feather the edges for a little more blown out look. You could go in with the darker blue to create more smoke. You could also use this blue to feather the edges and it appear more pastel-y blue. I think that's really pretty. Even use this as inner corner highlight, but I do want to go in with the lighter shade as my highlight of choice because I think it a lovely color. You could probably do the lighter blue matte first and maybe this metallic on top. That's a nice combination idea as well. I'm also placing this lighter metallic on the lower inner part of my lash line. And we could also lightly tap this on the mobile lid for more of a spotlight effect if you wanted to create more dimension there. I'm still trying to decide which matte I should use to finish the edges. You know what I mean? Because I think we could do a little bit of both. With that said, back in with my number 5, lightly tapping this first blue matte. I'm tapping the majority on the outer lid and now gently taking it through the crease and the edges to create a little more smoke in a downward motion, because I do like that point, if you will, at the edge of the lash line. And now with a smaller brush, in this case I'm taking T2 with the lighter matte shade, the inner arc of the eye, and tapping. I feel that kind of connects both the lighter metallic shade we applied on the inner corner and then connects a little bit of that medium matte blue that we applied on the edge. That looks a little more intense. You see how the first version was, although it was blue, it was softer, a little more on the daily friendly side of things because I took high blue fingernails, because I took the blue higher. It's giving you more theatrics and drama. You know what I mean? We're like now teetering on recital blue shadow looks from the 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s. But we're going to take it to the top, because while we're here, let's stamp on the darker blue now on the lash line for a little more smoke and definition. However, I'm keeping this tight to the lash line. I don't want to extend it beyond the end point. It's just to introduce a little more intensity here to create more contrast. You could also lightly stamp it on the outer fourth, right, to create that smoky bracket of color, I think that creates really nice definition on the eyes without necessarily using a liner. That introduction of color, I feel, kind of pulls everything together. Although I understand super blown out, okay, like super blown out. If you wanted to create more contrast, I would then feather the edges with the lighter matte and still have this on the lid. Or you could go in with this color on the inner and outer parts of your lid and then place the matte on the center. I think they'll be pretty. Or even the lighter metallic. Or perhaps you can kind of mimic what we did with the Metropolis eye and use this color lightly on the lid, and then the darker color, whether it be this one or this one, probably this one will work out better as a wing liner. Maybe softer, maybe more diffused, not as precise as this, but you could use like your smudger brush or what have you just to lightly wing out that navy-ish, it's giving navy a little bit on the lash line. But I think we're good to go. Let's slap on some lashes and return for the final look. And here is the final look using all the items I purchased from the Natasha sale. I'm quite happy with them, especially the concealer. And from this angle, I think NP10 looks a lot better. Close up, you could probably detect a lot of like the peachiness about it. The color works 100%, and I'm excited to use it with my Suku foundation in applying the concealer just on the more blemished areas of my skin. R5 is bright, yes, and to report back about how it looks under the eyes, there's just creasing here under the very bottom of my lash line, and that's to be expected because I do have fine lines there, right? I'm 39, that skin's delicate and soft. What are you gonna do? I could just do this. It doesn't bother me much. I will have to report back if my mascara drops. What's the word? It's not drops, runs. But I don't mind how it looks without powder. I think the finish is quite nice. Again, it is brightening, and a shade I will have to use sparingly. In terms of the blush, I couldn't ask for a better shade. For a better highlight. I knew immediately when I saw this shade online that it will look lovely on my complexion, and it does. Everything from the deeper rose into the lighter pink rose and the pink shimmer highlight, it doesn't look too frosty. It's just right. It's just on that precipice of frosty, but pulls back a little bit and gives me really nice highlight. I changed my Suku Moisture Glaze, by the way. We're on 01 with the Natasha Denona lip liner in Clio. It's a nice combination. And the eyeshadow minis. Look, I love our Jubilee wing. I love this. This is a great idea and something I think I would do as like a going out eye because we're getting the smoke from bowl. Okay, and then we have that neutral lid, and then you got the metallic eye, star of the show. The color is still like gem tone enough that it's not too out there, but the shine is insane. And listen, I know blue shadow is hit or miss. 100% is a little trickier to use as a daily color, but I'll come back on here and create more looks with Triochrome. Let me know what you think down below. I don't mind coming back on here and doing some more Triochrome looks. I probably will do shorts with Triochrome and with Mini Metropolis just to get the looks out there, just the inspo out there. If you want a more broken down tutorial, you can let me know, but that's my next project, as I want to showcase more looks with these minis because I adore Natasha's eyeshadow minis. I think they are wildly versatile in terms of the size and the consistency in the formula. Although the shadows are smaller scale, they still perform incredibly well, and depending on the mini, you have a wide range of different finishes from Natasha's collection, whether it's her classic matte, her cream to powder matte, her metallic, her chroma crystal, whatever, her duochrome in this case. Is this? Yes, the metallic chrome, I don't know what it's called. And with the 24-month suggested shelf life, made in Italy, you can't go wrong with the minis, and that's why I had to pick these up because I wanted to complete my Natasha Denona mini collection, which is unfortunately not complete because I do not have Mini Leela and Mini Star. I missed out on those, but happy with Mini Metropolis and Mini Triochrome. And yes, I'm happy with how this came out. Is it a lot? But because of how it looks, again, would be dazzling with Xenon. So perhaps that will be our next eyeshadow mashup video, Xenon and mini Triochrome, or maybe just mini Xenon and mini Triochrome. That will be a great combination. All in all, I am quite happy with my little haul. I'm happy that I waited for these items to go on sale so I could save a little money. So like I said, up next will be the YouTube shorts featuring mini Triochrome and Metropolis, and the longer form video featuring Xenon and mini Triochrome, depending on whether it's the midi Xenon or the mini Xenon. We're mixing Xenon in with the blue Triochrome mini 100%. I'll see you down in those comments, and until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial, Natasha Denona extravaganza, and I get ready with me using older products. Take care, and I will see you again soon.